Namaskar. Welcome to MSBTE's e-content, study at your doorstep. We are studying environmental studies, course code 22447, and in that we are going to focus unit 5, that is social issues and environmental education. The expected course outcome of unit 5 is to manage social issues and environmental ethics as lifelong learnings. Today, we are going to cover unit outcome 5E. This is about me. I am Dr. Ramesh Daryapurkar, CEO, Lars Enviro Nagpur. I am an external course expert and I represent industries. What we will learn today, that's the agenda. Today we would cover water conservation, and under that we will cover rainwater harvesting, followed by groundwater, green belt, watershed, and interlinking of rivers. All these subjects are very interesting, and I'm sure you will enjoy this. My objective is to touch upon the concept, not so much about the details. So these are the 5 things which we are going to cover under water conservation today. Now let's start with rainwater harvesting. So what is rainwater harvesting? Let's first understand what is rain. Rain is the first form of water in hydrological cycle and hence is a primary source of water. Another thing, that rainwater is the most purest form of water. Rainwater harvesting means 2 things: to understand value of rain and to make optimum use of whatever rainwater we get at the place where it falls. The rainwater, you can collect it and then you can use it uh, for direct use, or you can recharge it into the groundwater. Now, water harvesting, we can do it through a variety of ways. We can cover it from rooftops, we can capture runoff from local catchments like in a village. If there is any low depression area, we can collect rainwater there. We can capture seasonal flood waters whenever flood comes and divert that or store that. And watershed management is another way of conserving water. Now, let's understand and try to answer these questions: when, what, why, how. So what is rainwater harvesting? It is the activity of direct collection of rainwater. Why it is to be done? To extend the fruits of the monsoon for rest of the years. How? Catch it where it falls. Where? Any land, anywhere can be used to harvest rainwater. No compulsion. Let's look at the objectives of rainwater harvesting. The idea is to provide drinking water, irrigation water, increase groundwater table, reduce stormwater discharges, urban floods or overloading of sewage treatment plants, and reduce seawater ingress in coastal areas. Now, how do we do that? There are 2 ways: traditional methods and modern method. In traditional methods, you would see many temple tanks in India, or ponds or wells like what you see in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Modern methods, we are all aware of terrace water saving method. Now, second topic, that is groundwater recharge. So what is groundwater recharge? The water from surface is to be taken to groundwater below the earth's surface. So that is groundwater recharge. It is divided into 2 parts: natural recharge, where recharging is done without human intervention, and artificial recharge, where human intervention is there. We basically obstruct the natural flow of rainwater and make it to infiltrate into the groundwater. Whenever natural recharge is not good enough to increase the groundwater level, we go for artificial recharge. Now, third topic, green belt development. As picture can suggest, what you see as a green is green belt. Green belt is an area of land which is reserved as an open space for field or park around a town or city, where people are not supposed to build houses or factories by law. So it's a reserved piece of land. The main purpose of green belt policy is to ensure that a particular area or particular percentage of land is reserved for forest or agriculture or plantation. Now, Let's look at the advantages. Air pollution control, most important. Tree absorb carbon dioxide and other pollutants, increase oxygen, so air quality is improved. Particulate matter is captured by the tree, that also helps in improving air quality. Trees are a good sound barrier. They absorb, deflect, refract sound to reduce its intensity. And trees also modify humidity and climate, which also affects sound intensity. Third one, soil erosion control. Soil quality is improved because of green belt development and soil erosion is avoided. Water conservation, last one, helps in containing stormwater runoff. So these are the important advantages. Now we are at watershed management. Watershed management means basically in a given area, you collect water, manage water and take it to a particular outlet. Let's look at its definition. So watershed is defined as any spatial area from which precipitation is collected. You can see the outlet here. So precipitation is collected through subdrain, drain and brought to a common outlet. That is watershed. Now watershed management means the optimal use of soil and water resources both. I repeat, it's a wise use of soil and water resources. So we had seen what is watershed, we had seen watershed management. And what is the objective of watershed management is to enable a sustainable production and minimize floods. Now let's look at the objectives of watershed management. Watershed aims at improving standards of living by increasing earning capacity, by offering facilities such as electricity, drinking water, irrigation water, freedom from fear of flood, drought, etc. And what are the outcomes of watershed management? Productivity of agriculture is increased, allied activities of industries are promoted, cottage industries are developed, social forestry becomes an additional source of income, soil erosion is checked, and more employment opportunities are created. Now the last one, interlinking of river. As you can see that there are mainly two parts of the country. One is Indo-Gangetic Plain and other is peninsular area. So Indo-Gangetic Plain refers to the northern part of India. So Indo-Gangetic Plain are perennial, water available throughout the year, and they are fed from glaciers from Himalaya and are rain fed. Whereas rivers in peninsular area, they are only river fed water. So they are heavily dependent on monsoon. So here there are floods, here there are droughts. So the idea is to transport the excess water from from here to here, or from the rivers which has perennially water available to other rivers which doesn't have that. That is river interlinking. So basically interlinking of rivers will provide equitable distribution of river water. Now as you can see that there are 37 rivers planned to be interlinked and 3000 storage dams are to be constructed. So in northern area there are 14 projects for river interlinking, and in peninsular, that is in rest of India, there are 16 projects or 16 rivers to be interconnected. The list you can see in the PPT. Now let's look at what are the pros and cons of interlinking of rivers. First and most important, control floods and droughts, solve drinking water crisis, power generation, availability of water during off season, irrigation benefit to farmer. The rivers with augmented flow can be used for inland waterways for transportation, defense, employment generation, and making many areas habitable. Now let's look at the opposite side. What are the cons? Interference with nature. So anything we disturb nature is likely to create problem later on. The projects are very expensive. Dam construction means displacement of people, destruction of forest. Few rivers are less polluted, few are highly polluted. So less polluted river can become more polluted. Few experts believe that these projects are only theoretical. It is not practically possible because river keep on changes its course. Interlinking of rivers may aggravate dispute between states and center. We know that within the states, within two states, there are so many disputes going on for river water. After this, it becomes a central property, and there could be so many disputes between center and states. So we have come to an end. Let's just recapitulate what we have studied. We studied rainwater harvesting, its benefits, methods adopted, groundwater recharging, various ways of doing it, advantages, green belt development and its relevance, watershed management and application for water conservation, and lastly, interlinking of rivers in India, pros and cons. These are the references which you can use for more in-depth insight. So, dear friends, every drop counts, save water, and that's the message for water conservation. This is an important quote. We must understand water covers two-thirds of surface of earth, but only 0.002% is drinkable. So you can understand the importance of conserving water, save water. Let's protect Mother Earth. Thank you so much